There's an unfortunate truth that many of us will have to go through at some point in life, and that is having a Christmas holiday that is depressing. Usually the reasons for that have to do with having a significant loss by someone passing away. It could even be the loss of a relationship from like a divorce or just a significant change in that relationship. And the other type of loss could be something just connected to ourselves. So like the loss of a career that, we thought we would have been doing forever. Things of that nature. Yes, so in today's video, my main goal is to talk about when that sort of situation happens in our life, ways that we can handle ourselves so that we actually make it through these holidays. The first thing that's important is to understand that if that's your reality coming up to the holidays, like that normally you had Christmas with your parents, but your parents are no longer here. Or it could be vice versa, like something has happened to one of your children or best friend or anything of that nature. I think it's very important from the very beginning of December to begin to plan how you're gonna manage yourself, how you're gonna take care of yourself through the upcoming holidays. I'll tell you some practical tips that I know of. Welcome to Jamaica. There's always a man walking down the road singing his heart out. It's not quite possible to completely avoid the sadness that will come, especially on Christmas Day, but preparing for it can make it a lot easier. So let's say it's your mom that has passed, unfortunately, and she was significantly the person that would, make the meals. All right, sir. This is a very weird thing happening in my neighborhood because nobody walks at films around here. It just doesn't happen. I'll give you examples of things that I've known that have worked for people, really worked. So one family I know, they made a decision that for Christmas, the first year after their mom passed, that they would go to a hotel. Because a hotel is a very neutral territory and it never did Christmas that way before, and that really worked for them. But let's say going to a hotel is not a part of your budget. Here are some other things that you can do. You may decide that one person in the family is going to do something really, really simple. Because if you used to have elaborate Christmases, the first Christmas, you're not going to feel like it. You're just not going to feel like it. So one person in the family could just decide to order in. You're just going to order in something as non-traditional as pizza. I know that sounds absurd. It's really all about doing any single thing that you can to make it through that holiday. Basically, what I'm saying with these points that I'm making now is you have to choose to do something completely out of your norm. Because when you do that, your brain finds it a lot easier to make it through. So that's suggestion number one, is do something totally out of the norm. In addition to doing something totally out of the norm, something else that you can do is to plan some, what I like to call, some intense self-care. Let's say you don't normally go to get a pedicure or you don't normally go to get a manicure. During this month, even though the money may be tight, that's a time to go and do something like that. Or if there's some kind of movie that you've been waiting to go see that you really would look forward to, this is the time to treat yourself. Anything at all, to soothe yourself prior to Christmas Day, because it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a really tough one. My third suggestion, and this one I think is very important, is to talk to your friends outside of the loss and family outside of the loss, and just keep talking about how this loss has impacted you and impacted how you think you'll be able to handle yourself Christmas. We have a tendency to want to keep our difficult situations to ourselves. This is not the time to do that. This is the time to allow people to be a little bit supportive of you. So that was all that we could do before Christmas Day. What about on Christmas Day? when you wake up, I'm going to give a scenario. Let's say it's your mom that's passed, but you're a wife and you have your own children who are expecting a lot of exciting things on that Christmas day. So although it affects them, you're the only one truly feeling, that deep grief on that morning. On that Christmas morning when you wake up, allow yourself at least 15 minutes to cry, to feel your grief, to think about your loved one that has passed away before you attempt to go out and be everything to everyone else. You've got to sort of fill your own cup first in this process to make it actually livable and doable. I can't really stress that enough. Christmas Day itself, you have got to make some time. If you don't do it at the very beginning, then do it at some other point during the day where you allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel about the loss that you've experienced. The other thing that I want to talk about is depending on where you are in terms of years since the loss of the loved one, years since the loss of the relationship, years since the loss of whatever it may be, your grieving can look a bit different. I was talking to a friend of mine and realized that it didn't seem to me that a lot of people knew that. Okay, so when someone passes, it makes sense, right? That first Christmas will be devastating. But what I didn't realize is that people didn't know that cycle will repeat itself in different ways. So this is what I found out. Between year 1 and year 3 will be the most acutely difficult. Yeah? And then there'll be a pause where it feels much more manageable. And then it's likely to resurface between years 7 to 10. And at that point, when it resurfaces, it can feel way more devastating. Like I had someone tell me that, she thought she was fine with the passing of her father. And then in about year 7, she woke up on Christmas morning and was almost paralyzed. She couldn't move the way she missed him. So know that your grieving is going to take place in different cycles through the different years. And if it is that you've thought that, oh yeah, I'm cool, I'm fine, this doesn't bother me anymore, and it comes back, don't judge yourself. Simply go back to doing all those self-care things that will allow you to make it through the holidays. So I really hope that this has helped someone today. I wish you the best. Regardless of what's happening with you for this holiday, I truly wish you the best and hope that, your holiday will be as merry as it can be.